This is me and a human baby. Literally 19 days ago, and about 22 and a half hours, I begat a human being. Although the physical begatting was obviously a little while before then. In the last 19 days, I've been doing a lot of sleep deprivation, so if I start rocking and staring into space, please just ignore me, and hopefully I'll wake up. Names can really influence someone's life. Paul Parry hasn't really influenced my life a huge amount. It's going really quickly. So anyway, back to these guys. So these are my 3 human boys. You have to name children really quickly, because after midwives have done something wonderful, they've handed you a baby, it's come out after the whole labor thing, you are given no time at all. They're just constantly calling it baby. Does baby want to do this? Does baby feel like this? Does baby want to feed? And it's awful. They're such wonderful people, but they start calling it baby, and it's terrible. You need to give them a name very, very quickly. There's a temptation to give them either common names or very rare names. It might be that you're tempted by a lovely rare name, tulip, velvet, that sort of thing. If it doesn't seem like a name, then maybe it's not the best idea in the world. One of the rules that I came up with my wife before we decided one was no name should be too rare. We call it casually the Myra test. Myra is a lovely name, but it just takes one mass-murdering child murderer to really put you off. So you should try and name maybe 3 or 4 famous people with that name. And if all the famous people you can name with that name are either wrestlers or strippers, maybe choose another name. Lots of people now are spelling names differently. They're coming up with all sorts of lovely things. You can spell them with emojis and question marks. Though it may guarantee that they get firstname.lastname@gmail.com, it may influence their life quite badly. There are none of my children are Barry Parry, Gary Parry, Larry Parry, or Carrie Parry. Don't make your children sound like children's entertainers. It's not nice. Names you can shout. Who here is a parent? Anyone? So have you ever had to go into a playground and bellow their names? So if you're thinking about Huckleberry being a wonderful name, as you start screaming that across Tesco's, it's not always a great thing. Now, I have a problem with people who have surnames as a first names as a surname. I feel personally that the parents of footballer Trent Alexander-Arnold are trolling me. Now, if your surname is, you have to give them a more first-namey first name than the surname. So Larry David works. Barry John works. If your surname is Barry, change the surname. Just wipe the whole slate clean. A boring practicality suggestion, just give everyone different initials. If you give everyone the same initials, you have to write their whole name on everything in your house. You will save literally 12s of pence in big ink if you choose different initials over a lifetime. The battery's running low on this laptop. It's good. Has it actually stopped? There's a thing here saying you might want to plug in your PC. Do you want me to? Just give it a better name. What can possibly go wrong? Google the initials. Bear in mind that the initial you're giving them that you might use as a shortening of their name, it could be something rude in a different language. Don't be persuaded, even if there are no vowels in it, there are various awkward languages, I'm not looking at anywhere in particular, that it sounds like the consonants are vowels. Middle names. Does anyone here have an absolutely sensational middle name? Go. George, that's strong. Go wild with middle names. Think of them as a punchline that the joke comes out 20 years later when your children get married. You can absolutely ruin them with a well-placed Isambard. Now, here are some names you need to avoid. The absolute stinkers. The first lot are Jacob Rees-Mogg's names. The second lot are Boris Johnson's kids' names. There are some missing, obviously, because we don't know how many kids he has. If anyone's watching this on YouTube next year, Boris Johnson was Prime Minister for about 3 months in 2019. Crucially, twin naming, never give them the same alliterative name. If you have non-identical twins, one is a girl, one is a boy, call them Ivor and Eva, just for the lols. Which one of you wants to do this? Ivor. Either. It doesn't matter. Lastly, break all the rules. It doesn't matter a damn. Your children will love you whatever happens, and you'll love them whatever happens. Go wild. Call them Tarquin if you really need to. Go forth and multiply. That's it from me. Thank you very much.